Yeah, weird day today. Not feeling 100%. Just didn't get much sleep or anything like that. And so all those things play into your trading. And, you know, sometimes you just have to be able to identify that. Probably could have done a little better job identifying it this morning. Still took a couple trades that were decent. Overall, I think just not an A+ day for me by any means from trading or just like physically, emotionally as well. So anyways, something to keep in mind as you trade, just to be on the lookout for those things as well as your actual trading setups. We're going to go and dive into today's recap from this morning's live stream. It happens on the main channel, Trades by Matt, every morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. And these were obviously done on my 2050K Apex funded accounts. You can use code TBM for 80% off right now. It's also 1 day to pass and $85 lifetime evaluations. Let's dive into the recap. Yo, what's up? Markets are open. I'm late. How clean this little doji was. Perfect doji into a move to the downside. News on the session. We've got nothing. Got yesterday's value low at 420. VWAP at 430. Yesterday's point of control at 475. Yesterday's value area high at 515. Overnight highs up at 540. That's a stretch up there. 140 points, 150 points, I guess. Overnight lows down 360, right around this swing low. So that seems much more doable for us to run. 30 points. Let's see. This yesterday was Formula One. It was epic. It was great. I love Charles, and he won. That was really fun. I also forgot to tell y'all, I actually met a didn't see too many famous people, any famous people in my section, other than I came back from the bathroom to the couch that me and Julia were sitting on, and sitting on the couch next to us was John McPhee, nicknamed Shrek, also nicknamed the Sheriff of Baghdad, who was on the Sean Ryan show a month ago or something, which I had watched and listened to. And so I walk up and I was like, oh my God, that guy looks familiar as shit. I was like, that's gotta be John. Like no other dude looks like this guy. So I'm like sitting there for like 5 minutes and I was like, do I talk to him? Like, I don't know. He seemed like kind of a hard ass on the podcast, to be honest. And like low key, I don't want to get banned for saying this, but he is KILLED a lot of people in the war in Afghanistan. He was the very first guy in Iraq, I believe, or Afghanistan. He was like one of the very first guys in the country by himself. He was doing like solo missions. And anyways, I leaned over and I was like, were you on the Sean Ryan podcast? And he's like, hell yeah, I was. And he ended up being really nice. Talked my ear off for a little bit, and it was really cool. And like in person, like I knew because I watched the podcast how much of a badass this dude is in like life. He's also like a hardcore jiu-jitsu guy. But in life, he just kind of looks like a really in shape, like 55-year-old dude, like kind of unsuspecting. And Julia was like, yeah, he looked like, she's like, when he sat down, I thought like, you know, he's in shape, probably doesn't drink alcohol, probably eats a lot of meat, goes camping and stuff. But like, I had no idea he was like one of the most hardcore people out there, and he could kill you with his hands. Yeah. In fact, he's got a famous quote that, a lot of times he says he doesn't carry a gun because he could kill you with a broomstick if you wanted to. He's like, if I'm ever in a position, you're not. He's like, if I'm ever in a position to defend myself, you're not getting out. And I was like, and you know, you hear the stories, you kind of believe it. What's the podcast called that he was on? The Sean Ryan show. I really like that podcast. All right, nice push. We got the +1 standard deviation up here with like 65. We got liquidity through the magical 80s, basically. Yesterday's volume at 75. Oh, chat, I forgot. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow I need to go to. There's not going to be a stream. I forgot it was at like 8:30. So there's not going to be a stream tomorrow. Liquidity higher. Just like, where's the dip? Delta was going flat until that little push. It's a cheap trade if I can get it. That's actually very, very realistic on this trade if it's actually going to get filled out, which I don't think it's going to get filled out at this point, but it would just be buying the bottom of the range, looking for like mid to top of the range. Looking at the 1 standard deviation right around the prior lows in the 80s. Stop below the lows. Risking 6 points. It's a cheap trade if it's going to work. And I like the liquidity higher. If this can push 5 to 10 points in the money, I'll just go ahead and move it break even. I stopped out. Ran up, what, 60 bucks? Something like that. Basically a non-event. Nice little sweep. That was a good stop out. Got to 66 pretty quick. I got out at 77, so I ran another 12 points almost immediately. That would have been a bummer. I stand by that trade. I like it just in case we were going to range out. Cheap entry. Stop was obviously pretty decent because we swept it pretty hard. But now we're right back in that range, and I think we honestly potentially bid it back up. Give it one more shot here. Looking at a basically 50% of that wick. I really want to see us push up into like IB, but should really be targeting the base hit. I think we'll see how it closes. I'm going to put it up just because I'm curious on the close, but see how this 5-minute candle closes. I'm gonna move that break even. Do it at the prior high. Little double top. Defending 500. Overall, buyers are looking good. I just want to see us pop this double top now at 510. I'm gonna get stopped out. Oh, bad stop too. That's break even. I get slipped on that by 2 points. Could have taken the base hit for 10 points. I really thought we were gonna pop it here at 12. I think we still might, to be honest, but I really thought we were gonna pop it at 12. Trade looked really good. Was in the money the whole way. I don't know how much drawdown I took there. I stand by the break even there too. Really thought we were gonna pop the double top and run IB. That's what I wanted to see happen. Just didn't happen. I think it ran up. I don't know how much it ran up. I wasn't watching. I was watching the double top. See how we would react. A lot of times those little tweezer tops get repaired like that. I still think we do repair it, to be honest, but I just don't know when. It's a good looking trade. Could have killed it to be back break even on the day. Could have killed it to be up $120 on the day. Probably could have killed it to be more than that, but I wanted to see us pop the double top. I think it was close enough there to where we get the little push above. I mean, a push into 13 I think sends it right away into 18, so it was close. No cigar.